Let's call this meeting to order. Everyone please stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Ashley, can we have roll call?
Cavalier.
Aye.
Here.
Brecken.
Here.
Clot. Menard. Hibma.
Here.
Jurdy.
Here.
Fisher.
Here.
Briggs.
This time is the open forum. If anyone would like to address the council on any issues not already on tonight's agenda, you may come forward to the podium. Hearing none from the people sitting in the council chambers, is there anyone waiting on the city's phone bridge? That brings us to the agenda. Does anyone wish to add anything to tonight's agenda?
Vice Mayor, under the regular agenda, item 7.06, a summary of the city, from the city attorney Tanner Holton regarding the closed session from February 3rd, 2024 to be added.
Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Henry, and then second?
Henry. Don.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's have roll call.
Cavalier.
Aye.
Brecken.
Aye.
Hibma.
Aye.
Jurdy.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
That brings us to the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda? Can I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda or consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Right. Let's have roll call.
Cavalier.
Aye.
Brecken.
Aye.
Hibma.
Aye.
Jurdy. Aye. Fisher.
Aye.
That brings us to the regular agenda, Ashley.
Yes, Vice Mayor. Item 7.01 is a resolution regarding a request for proposal, RFP, for classification and compensation study for the city of Crookston.
Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Derek?
Are we gonna do discussion?
Yeah, so Jeff will brief.
Yes, Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the council, upon review of our accounts, there was a fund set aside a couple of years ago for a compensation and classification study. My understanding is that was never, a comprehensive study was not done, that an in-house study was done by the then HR coordinator. We're asking for the council, this was not on the budget, however, it is in reserve set aside for this purpose, to the tune of about $48,000. And we're asking for council's authorization to move forward for a comprehensive classification and compensation study. We anticipate it would take between 9 and 12 months to complete. It would include a full classification study so that we can then align all of our jobs, even though they're in different areas of service. Similar responsibilities would then be affiliated with similar pay scales as we move forward. And it'll provide us great insight into the equity for our wage scales
So is this for all staff?
for all staff.
Fire, police, everyone?
Pardon?
Fire, police, everyone?
Fire, police, all.
That's all, everybody.
Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, let's have roll call.
Cavalier.
Aye.
Brecken.
Aye.
Hibma.
Aye.
Jurdy.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 7.02 is a resolution regarding a request for proposals, RFP, for the city of Crookston's official paper.
Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Christie, second?
Second.
Madam Vice Mayor, members of the council, this has been brought forward because, as many of you know, the Crookston Times ceased publication on Friday the 7th. which left us without an official paper. We had identified possible paper until both the mayor and I started receiving calls from several papers in the region, inquiring as to our need and the possibility of becoming our city's official paper. There are criteria from the state that they have to be on the approved qualified official paper list for the state. And in order to be equitable to all parties, we've drafted an RFP so that we can then have a competitive process to identify the best fit for our city. So we would anticipate that it would be roughly 2.5 weeks out for responses. Then we would open and bring back to the council the apparent priority bidder.
Does KROX not fall in that, as they're not a paper, they're technically a radio?
No, they have to be a hard copy
Gotcha.
paper that is printed at least weekly in general circulation. And there are also, Tanner had identified, there are also other requirements. They have to have a percentage of their content that is news oriented as opposed to simply ad oriented. There's quite a few hoops for them to jump through.
Okay.
So there are several in the area, and again, we have reached out. I took 2 phone calls today and told them to watch our website.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's have roll call.
Cavalier,
Aye.
Bracken,
Aye.
Hibma,
Aye.
Jurdy,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 7.03 is a resolution regarding approving Baker Tilly as the auditing firm for the city of Crookston for the 2024 audit.
Do I have a motion to approve this
So
resolution?
move, Your Honor.
Second.
Okay. Jeff?
Madam Vice Mayor, members of the council, we did, after some great searching, and as the council is aware, great effort by staff, we did finally get 2 bids to be our city auditor for 2024. One of which is a firm located out of Rochester that does not normally operate in our area. The 2 bids were very comparable, they were close. Baker Tilly, after consultation with both Holly in Finance and Lance with CLA, we feel that the closeness of the bids allows us to go with the firm with a deeper, to use the term, deeper bench. Baker Tilly is much larger, has much more experience in medium to large size city audits than the other firm. And as a result, we're recommending Baker Tilly to move forward, asking council to name Baker Tilly moving forward.
So is the 50,000 for the 3-year engagement, or is it 50,000 that they're expecting us to pay for this one audit year?
It's 50, the numbers are 54. They're $4,600 apart total for the 3-year engagement. For 24, the financial audit is identified at 56.3. In 25, it's 53.8, and in 26, it's 56.5. The rationale for the first year being higher is they have to set everything up and populate everything, that they would not have that expense in the second year. The third year then would be an inflationary adjustment.
That seems kind of high for audits. From my understanding, in the past, we've been at the 30 range. Is there a reason why it's so significantly higher?
It falls directly to the lack of yellow book qualified auditors. Virtually every firm that we reached out to, and Holly can verify this, virtually every firm that we reached out to has very limited capacity, and they're cutting back municipal audit. The one of the bids that we got had told us no prior to submitting a bid for the third. It truly is a supply and demand capacity item, I believe.
And it will be that we guaranteed we have an auditor then for the next 3 years,
We would
correct?
then have auditors for 3 years, yes. That's why I would recommend the 3-year engagement versus 1. Otherwise, next year, we will be in the same boat and it will be more, I would anticipate it would be more expensive.
Well, and I would just like us to be able to not have to like delay all the other pieces to this if we already have somebody that's selected, so, okay, great, thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing none, let's have a roll call.
Cavalier,
Aye.
Bracken,
Aye.
Hibma,
Aye.
Jurdy,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
motion carries. Item 7.04 is a resolution regarding accepting the bid from Pace Painting LLC in the amount of $139,365 for the Crookston Sports Center exterior painting project.
Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
Don.
Madam Vice Mayor, members of the council, we did receive 3 bids for this project. It's budgeted at $160 under the capital budget. One of the bids, upon review, was dismissed as being non-compliant with bid criteria. They did not supply full information. Out of the 2 remaining, Pace Painting is the lowest responsible bidder at $135,365. Anticipated work would begin upon weather being conducive. As we all know, painting does not do well in 10 below. But the other qualified bid was significantly higher than budgeted. So it was a fairly straightforward sorting, once the qualifications and the criteria were sorted.
And they're kind of local, they're like what, East Grand,
side.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's have a roll call.
Cavalier,
Aye.
Bracken,
Aye.
Hibma,
Aye.
Jurdy,
Aye.
Fisher. Motion carries. Item 7.05 is a resolution regarding a letter of support for the Geothermal Planning Grant from the Minnesota Department of Commerce.
Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Christie? Derek?
Okay,
You got it in there.
Madam Vice Mayor, members of the council, this was brought forward by the EDA, and it is a zero match for the city at no cost to the city. It will identify city facilities and determine whether or not geothermal is appropriate. It will help, if it is deemed appropriate, it will help us to move forward in gaining grants and other work towards installing geothermal at some of our locations for long-term stability of our utility bills. For those that are not familiar with it, it basically, deep pipes are set and it helps to even out temperature variations using thermal. That's a very layman's term. I'm not a geothermal engineer, but it helps cool in the summer and helps make the heat and cooling work less to provide better energy efficiency. Again, it is a zero cost to the city, and a recommendation from staff is to move forward. It is, if we do determine to move forward, this would be required for any geothermal projects anyways. So if we can get it done for free, that's always a good thing.
Well, and just to kind of add to that, this is kind of comes out of the Empower Crookston, with the small cities empowering grant. And you have a lot of people on board with us, including the university. And, Carrie, who else, who are some of the bigger players? Clean Energy, the university, Fresh Energy. So there's a lot of people that are gonna try to help this. It's a pretty big community, joint project, so. This is an FYI.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, can we have roll call?
Cavalier,
Aye.
Bracken,
Aye.
Hibma,
Aye.
Jurdy,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 7.06 is a summary of the closed session from February 3rd, 2025.
Tanner Holton, city attorney, will present this summary if the council accepts this agenda item to be added.
And they did.
You have
we
to go
did, so we're
first
good.
And we
or no?
did, we're good.
Okay.
We're good, okay.
Just do it.
This,
Microphone coming.
okay, thank you. This is a summary of the closed session from February 3rd, 2025, which was an evaluation into the city administrator's performance. Discussion was had on that date about a raise for the city administrator. Discussion was had on why the raise was being discussed at 6 months and the evaluation at 6 months rather than a year-end raise and evaluation, which is more common. Discussion on prior city administrator, including a review at 6 months as a compromise on the starting salary was had. Discussion between council members on the cost of living adjustment and the rates associated and used by various entities. Ultimately, a consensus was reached on a 3% raise for the city administrator. Following that, there is brief discussions on the effective date for this raise. Thank you.
No, council.
Council reports,
You pick.
done?
Aye.
No,
It's just
council reports.
Council report out?
Council report out?
So do you have anything to report to the citizens?
Oh, no, I do not. Not tonight.
Derek?
Nothing tonight.
I also have nothing. Christie?
I was down to the Capitol this last week for the Board of Directors of the Greater Minnesota cities. And we were there, partly it's the legislative day of action, which is just us going down and talking with our local representatives. Specifically, we kind of addressed some of the issues that were affecting our city, as well as some things that are kind of coming down the pike with legislation. The one thing that we had asked both our representatives and then also the lead of the transportation in the Senate and in the representative in the House is for more funding for the Highway 2 corridor, because that price tag has significantly increased. We had some really great discussions with both Senator Johnson and Representative Gander, as well as Jasinski and Kegel. And we really had some good traction with Kegel, and she has talked of pushing forward our bill for that funding in this next legislative session, so we're pretty excited about that. She also is the person who authored the bill that actually gave us the grant for Empower Crookston. So she was pretty excited to know that we were their pilot city as well. So just some things to be aware of that is, I think, probably most pressing for us as a city is that the Builders Association has been trying to pass a bill in the House for the last 2 years that pretty much takes away all authority from cities regarding building codes and tries to set out expectations universally across the board, which is pretty scary to think about, because obviously what our codes are not gonna be what the codes are for Minneapolis and vice versa, and they just don't work for that. So us being members of Greater City, the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, they are pushing back on that, and that's gonna be our main objectives this year. So just more to come on that, but just so you guys are aware of that. That's all I have.
Henry?
Nothing for me.
So just as a reminder, there will be no budget meeting tonight, and we are adjourned.